Hello, good evening. Welcome to Endurance Productions Movie Reviews. Folks, tonight I'm going to do a double feature movie review set on two crime drama American classics. If you have not seen these movies, after this review you need to get off your duff and go out and find them. I give you none other than The French Connection and Bullitt. Well, I flipped a coin, folks, and Bullitt won the coin toss. So we'll start with good old cool Frank Bullitt in his 1968 Mustang. Folks, this movie is just an American classic. I mean, I don't really know where to start because I'm kind of awestruck in the coolness that is Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, as you know, was a great actor of his era, and basically this movie was like the turning point in his career. Basically, Steve McQueen made a lot of movies before this one, Magnificent Seven and a few others, The Great Escape. But it was this one that really just kind of catapulted him into like superstardom. Let me just say a few words about the story of Bullitt. Bullitt centers around the main character, Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen is a police lieutenant in the San Francisco area who is assigned to take care of, or more or less watch after, this star witness in a conspiracy kind of trial that's going to be coming up, a very high political level trial that's going to be happening. Well, unbeknownst to Steve McQueen's character, Frank Bullitt, if you will, there is a hit squad that came to town and really does not want this witness to go to trial. Needless to say, folks, they take out the witness and it leaves Frank Bullitt holding the bag. So the rest of the film is basically Frank Bullitt searching for the shooters, not only the shooters, but the kingpin behind them, and trying to find out what in the world is going on with this situation. Basically just being a hardcore investigative detective. As we all know and probably have heard of before, Bullitt houses one of the best car chases in history, caught on film that is, between I don't know if you can see that, but between a 1960s model Dodge Charger and his cool Ford Mustang. Folks, hands down, it is a great, memorable car chase. It's probably one of the best ever put on celluloid film before, or ever for that matter. But you know, folks, I have to differ a little bit from most reviews that I've watched on Bullitt and the research that I've done. A lot of times folks just say, well, all it is that car chase, man, just watch the car chase. Folks, if you're going to go and, and sit down and watch this movie, watch the whole movie. The movie is very good. Not to say the car chase doesn't kick ass, because it does. But basically, this is a very good crime drama. Now, it has its moments where it kind of slows down a little bit. But I like to think that the director, Peter Yates, used that to kind of build up to the car chase and build up to the ending shootout. Some of the other cast and crew that are most notable for my review here, it was directed by a director by the name of Peter Yates. It also stars Robert Vaughn, who you know from Magnificent Seven, and a couple other features with Steve McQueen. Jacqueline Bisset, a very beautiful lady, leading lady of her time. Many others. There's also, I don't really want to call it a cameo, but a very small role for Robert Duvall. Shows up as a cab driver that fits into the story in the middle of the film. Not only does Bullitt sport good locations of San Francisco, but folks, you really need to remember that this movie was made back when movies were basically real. No CGI, no fake stunt doubles or anything. This is really what it was, folks. This is like real stunts, real stuntmen doing the stunts, real driving, car crashes, you name it. It's all real. That's why it just adds a little bit more to its authenticity, I feel. I have here the Bullitt Special Edition 2-disc version. Just to kind of give you a little DVD feature rundown, folks. Disc 1 has the new digital transfer of the film in its widescreen format. Has a commentary by director Peter Yates, a theatrical trailer, some language tracks. Disc 2 had some very decent special features on it, folks. There was feature-length documentaries entitled Steve McQueen, The Essence of Cool. It was basically just anything you really wanted to know about Steve McQueen in front of the camera and behind the camera. Excellent documentary if you ever wanted to know more about Steve McQueen. It also has a documentary entitled The Cutting Edge, The Magic of Movie Editing. this wasn't so much centered around Bullitt, but it was centered around a lot of films of that time or now. And it kind of just gets behind the scenes and tells you how they edit a film and how it makes the film more effective through great editing. It also has the vintage featurette, Bullitt, Steve McQueen's Commitment to Reality, which is actually, it's kind of cool because you watch the featurette that was made now or recently, and then you watch the vintage featurette, and it's just kind of neat how you can compare the two and you can see the technology difference and the graininess of the old one. I don't know, kind of nostalgic in a way. Next up on the docket, folks, The French Connection with Gene Hackman in the lead role as Papa Dole. Folks, this movie is, there again, an American crime drama classic. Just let me say that this movie was basically, I did a little research, this movie was based on a true story or some true events that were taken by real-life policemen that helped in developing the story for The French Connection. The story of The French Connection centers around Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider's characters, two New York policemen who get tipped off about a huge drug smuggling ring that's coming in from Marseille, France. And it's about how the story just centers around them trying to track down who this mysterious Frenchman is that's arrived in America. How are they going to get the drugs in or out, and where is the drug buy going to take place? It's just an awesome crime drama with a great story, great locations. You actually feel like you're in that gritty atmosphere of the alleyways of New York City when you watch this one, folks. The French Connection, along with Bullitt, houses one of the best car chase scenes ever filmed on celluloid. There again, folks, this one isn't between two cars, however. It's actually a car chase between Gene Hackman in a vehicle below an elevated train in New York. He's trying to catch the sniper that had taken a few shots at him, and this chase goes on for minutes and minutes of the middle of the film. And basically, folks, it's one of the most hair-raising chases you've ever seen. The hair-raising parts that I refer to are not from Gene Hackman racing another vehicle, of course. It's about him trying to miss all the people and trying not to crash the car and stay on the tail of that train that just keeps going and going and going. And as with Bullitt, folks, even though it has a great car chase in it, folks, you've got to watch this movie mainly for the story as well, because, not to say it doesn't have a good car chase, it does. It's got one of the best. But you've got to really center in on the story, because if you really sit back, keep things quiet, watch it, pay attention, this movie will keep you guessing how they're going to catch them, or, you know, it's just a really engrossing story. Just a little rundown on the DVD features that I have here. I have the widescreen version of The French Connection. It's a semi-bare-bone edition. It's got a scene-specific commentary from Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider at different parts in the film, and it's got a running commentary of the director William Friedkin. William Friedkin has been around for a long time, folks. He's directed many different projects. He directed The Exorcist. He's directed, you know, just numerous projects that everybody known, but he's kind of one of those directors that just kind of flies under the radar. He doesn't do a movie like every single year or every other year. He does a lot of research, and he just kind of takes his projects every few years. So anyway, you know, you got a pretty good director at the helm. Gene Hackman in the lead role. What more could you ask for? I mean, this movie's just great. Got an original theatrical trailer as well, folks, and it's presented in the widescreen 1:8:5:1 anamorphic widescreen. Okay, folks, the inevitable question: which is better, The French Connection or Bullitt? Not only do I put this question to you, folks, I've got to answer it for myself. Bullitt was an Academy Award winner for Best Editing for its year, 1968. And The French Connection won, I believe, let me read it here, it was a winner of 5 Academy Awards, to include Best Actor for Gene Hackman and other supporting efforts behind the scene. I guess, folks, if I had to pick one in terms of story and suspense, drama, that kind of thing, I got to go with The French Connection, folks. But if I was running around in my mind and I was thinking atmosphere or the pure car chase of the movie, I'm going to have to go with Bullitt, folks. The car chase in Bullitt is it's just too much for me. I'm from the South. I like Mustangs. Hey, you can't get much better than that Dodge Charger running amok in San Francisco with that Ford Mustang. But I like the movies equally in terms of overall experience. If you haven't seen them, folks, you got to go out and get these movies. They're American classics, or for my YouTubers overseas. If you can get these in your video stores, check them out. You might like them, you might not. Steve McQueen Bullitt, Gene Hackman, The French Connection. This has been B. West Jr. at Endurance Productions. I'll see you again next time. Take care, folks.